all over Australia right now, at least in Queensland. I've heard that it's happening all over Australia too. Shopkeepers, most of these bullies are in a shopkeeping position whereby they don't study the rules that have been issued by the Queensland government, but they portray as if they have and they know the rules, and they probably sincerely believe that what they think are the rules are actually the rules. But that's one issue, but it's not bullying. That's a maybe intellectual issue that people have in the culture, quite a rampant one too, of just assuming that you know something that you don't actually know. It happens all over the place. Me, it happens too. So there are shopkeepers telling people that they need to have a mask. This is the big enchilada. All the shopkeepers are telling people, you need a mask, or they're asking them, where is your mask? Or why don't... No, they don't even ask why you don't have a mask. They just ask where your mask is. They ask you to put a mask on, and they tell you that you cannot enter or do this or that if you don't have a mask, and they'll even tell you often that they will get in trouble, not you. This is all not true. Perhaps to some extent they might get in trouble if they don't follow the rules, but I have studied these rules in Queensland. No shopkeeper is going to get in trouble for someone not wearing a mask in their shop. The person not wearing a mask might get in trouble. So the thing with bullying, the major issue is there are so many people with exemptions for this mask rule, from mental illness to any of the other myriad of conditions that find one exempt. These people do not want to wear a mask, but everywhere they go to the shops, they're being told, you need a mask. Where is your mask? You cannot come in here if you don't have a mask. That's what the first line of words is on meeting the shopkeeper. You cannot come in here unless you have a mask. So all these shopkeepers, they don't seem to understand that there is exemptions, even though they generally do. But when someone tells them they're exempt, the shopkeeper half the time says, well, prove it. Obviously not having read the rules. So this is bullying on a major level all over Australia, that people are being coerced to do something that makes them feel worse, that they can note exacerbates some medical condition that they have. And they're going ahead and wearing the mask because people are bullying them. Now, this is somewhat acceptable when it's happening by the general shopkeeper. But for me personally, it happened at the courthouse in Caboolture, Queensland. And I have returned to the courthouse on the same day that this issue happened and got video documentation of me confirming with one of the officers who was there in the morning that this in fact did happen. I was going to my court. I was aware of the rules with mask wearing, lockdown, etc., the extent that we were at. This was the 26th of July, 2021. I was told at the door by the first person who I thought they were the police, because they had police written on the side of their shirt, I should have known better because they had a white uniform, but the police was on their shirt. I don't know. I didn't see if they had a gun. Doesn't matter because police often do jobs that they don't actually want their gun on them. Whatever. This is a professional human at the courthouse, employed through the government. This is, what the courthouse is. They're supposed to be upholding the highest level of sanity in the community. That's where we go to be making our big decisions on what you can and can't do and who did wrong and right. I'm there being asked, where is your mask? You cannot, and then I'm told, you cannot come in here unless you have a mask. And I say, why are you asking me these questions? That's not how you talk to people. Are you aware there are exemptions to this? And then he's just like, gets that kind of adrenaline and then kind of lock mind on what he just said or something, I don't know, but he kind of said, well, you need to show me your exemption. And I said, I cannot believe that you're here asking me for something that doesn't really exist, telling me I need to show you, you're enforcing some rule that doesn't exist at the courthouse. And then I just told him to mind. He said, what medical exemption do you have then? I said, are you asking me what medical condition that leads to me not wearing a mask? He said, yeah. I said, that's none of your business. And someone behind me said, yeah. And so he kind of stepped aside and I went through the first door of the courthouse, which was a glass sliding door, not a security screen. I was waiting for the security screen. And the security officer, who had a different colour uniform on, I think he worked for a different agency, he was working this screening tool. He asked me, where is your mask? And I said, that's not the question, bro. Dude, don't ask me these kinds of questions. Okay? People have exemptions. You should know this. And that should be the baseline assumption or question. And then I'm waiting for the security screen and it's my turn, and then the officer, who I thought was the police, but the same deal, they had police services or something written on their shirt. Police was probably the biggest writing on their shirt. This dude was sitting on his chair with his list, writing off names, and he said, mate, I'm going to get you a mask and you're going to wear it or you're not going to come in here. That is bullying, okay? And I'm just thinking, I need to document this, like to tell people this point that I need to make, that no one else was unmasked there. And it is likely that everyone that's going to the courthouse with a legit medical condition who prefers not to wear a mask to cater for their issue, they are being bullied by these kinds of people and they're just wearing a mask and they're actually enduring more suffering as a result because of this bullying. And the way that the fact that I'm saying it's whatever, it's very likely happening because this lockdown shit stuff has been going on for a long time and these rules haven't really changed about the exemptions and not having to show an exemption certificate. In fact, there is no such thing as far as the Queensland government is aware. This has been going on for a long time, and here at the courthouse I'm being told, you're not allowed in here without a mask because this courthouse apparently is different to everywhere else. Now, if I'm not allowed to if I have to wear a mask and there's a fine that should be issued to me for not doing so, why aren't I being fined when I'm at the courthouse and there's police walking past? Actual police officers. Why aren't I being fined if you are actually legit to tell me that I need to show some exemption? You're just making up rules. So apparently I'm doing the wrong thing. Why don't the police fine me? Why don't the police... When I went to go get video confirmation that this actually did happen, the police officers walked out of the courthouse. I didn't have a mask on again, of course. Why would I? And they asked the person I was talking to, the security guard, the police services person, they said, "Are you alright, mate?" Yeah. If you're in a uniform, there's no way that you can be doing something wrong and hassling someone else. So here I am, a citizen, obviously like having an issue. He's the one being arky with me. I'm just simply asking questions and he's like, "Get out of here," being weird. So if it is the case that there's actually some special rule that people who don't have a mask, they can't go to court, and court's already organised it, that's actually not what happened. And if it is, then that's even worse, because why do all that stuff and not make the arrangements to actually say, this is what we've gone ahead and changed here? Lewis, you're coming to court. Okay, well, be aware that the whole of Queensland and all the other places, all the infrastructure is different to the courthouse. The courthouse, you are not allowed to be exempt from wearing a mask. And if you cannot wear a mask, you cannot come. That was never told to me. I was just blatantly bullied by 3 security officers at the courthouse and told rules that don't exist and sent away, which for the record worked out in my favour because I didn't have to wait in at the court the whole day. I just sent an email. But yeah, this is really sad actually. You might think, oh, all these people might die. Everyone needs to wear a mask, even if we have to bully them to do so, because that's better. Well, yeah, you just got to remember that you don't know everything, and no one's ever seen anyone be saved by a mask, and no one's ever seen anyone be attacked by a virus, okay? The other PhD virologists might be right, the ones who say that the viruses are not causing any diseases. And if we have to close, I should close, and I want to actually discuss another form of bullying, which is from Scott Morrison. He probably doesn't realise, but it really technically is bullying the whole people when you say you need to get a vaccination. Yeah. But that's legal, okay? This other bullying, telling me I need to show an exemption at a place where the rules are supposed to be upheld more than anywhere and known. I'm told that there's some rule that doesn't exist, and I'm told I'm not allowed to come in, which is another rule that doesn't exist. Come in for not following a rule that doesn't exist. And I'm just leaving it on YouTube because, yeah, it is absolutely disgusting.